Hey.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to be a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right.
As the Diddy trial is opening up, people keep making this all about Diddy rather than looking at everything that's happening around it. There's a lot of people that want to protect the Diddy agenda because it serves them, because allegedly they're all accomplices. Like I said last year, after the Cassie Diddy case was made public for the world to see on CNN.
If Kim Porter hadn't done what she done, there would be no Cassie to testify.
You know, Mr. Combs, SC and SC, thing 1 and thing 2. They've been covering each other's ass for a long time, guys. Y'all don't see what's going on? The death of Angie Stone. Clive Davis, Diddy. Rock Nation on the verge of utter collapse. What happened to Tory? Find a way to blame it on him. Now all of a sudden he was trying to start a race. Just so happens that he gets half the day. As the Diddy trial is opening up,
Him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Since she just interrupted Diddy's trial and gave the prosecutor some never-before-seen videos of Diddy freaking out with Bryshere Gray, when he was just 17, Jaguar Wright is not letting up on Diddy at all. She could not watch Diddy go down without telling the world what he did to that unfortunate guy, because Jaguar had been on his neck about Bryshere long before he was arrested, even though Bryshere has the potential to become the next major Hollywood star. He is currently selling himself on Twitter for chicken change. When Diddy and Will Smith finished tearing Bryshere apart, they allegedly transferred him around the industry to other influential people until they got him out, according to Jaguar. When Cat Williams stated that you must refuse P. Diddy's request for a party, he was not lying for those of you who are still somewhat unaware of what transpired with Bryshere. At the age of 17, he was given to Diddy and Will for a mentorship program, but hardly any mentoring took place during his time with them. Will supported Diddy's acting career while his former manager Charlie Mack wanted him to focus on his music career. However, Jaguar claims that they freaked out with him the entire time, and that by the time they were done with him, he was soulless when she accused Will and Diddy of deceiving young guys and freaking off activities with their alleged mentorship programs. She first revealed the truth. Jaguar claimed that these freak-offs once became so vicious that Will's neighbors heard Bryshere and Meek Mill rushing out of his house naked and yelling for help in exchange for a shot to succeed in the industry. People think the purported freak-off had been going on for hours at that point and was starting to pull them in and out of consciousness, though it is unclear why exactly they were fleeing out of there, and many people found this idea credible because Cassie recently acknowledged the freak-off, which can last anywhere from 1 to 4 days.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a doctor.
Even stranger is the fact that Terrence Howard Bryce, co-star on Empire, when she first met Diddy and Will, recently made remarks about influential individuals in the business having affairs with young men in return for favors. People also think he was referring to Bryshere.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
As I previously stated, people do not believe that any mentorship ever took place, because Bryce was never the same. After leaving it, he hardly obtained any roles after being kicked out of the industry. We then learned that he had been involved in several legal troubles and had even been involved in a car accident with his girlfriend. For instance, he was arrested and convicted of aggravated assault against a woman he was having an affair with in 2022. However, this was not his first run-in with the law. In 2020, his wife was saved by a man at a nearby gas station. After she went there to seek assistance, people were not even aware of his marriage, until this mess arose when the police arrived at Bryce's house to take him into custody. She informed them that he had strangled her. He would not leave the house. Bryce and the SWAT team had to bargain for hours before he finally left the house. And when his mug photographs were made public, everyone was shocked by how messy he appeared.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
As if things could not get any uglier, Jaguar returned just as everything was going on and revealed even more information regarding the alleged abuse that Bryshere endured at the hands of Diddy and Will. She affirmed the claims that Bryshere and the individuals who were molesting him were connected through Charlie Mack. However, this is where things become even more bizarre. Jaguar also disclosed that Bryshere's mother, Andrea Mayberry, was also involved, which is how Charlie was able to accomplish that in the first place, and she let everything take place.
And when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'm gonna kick you in your and then I'm gonna go to work North Philly style. Kill. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You see,
Jaguar also asserted that Bryshere was in negotiations with attorneys to sue Will and Diddy after Cassie filed her case, but he was forced to back out of the deal because his life was in jeopardy. Jaguar even went so far as to say that she is one of the few people who has seen the secret film that shows Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden Diddy, and Bryshere having a freak out.
Him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be a bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor cap was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filial. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
And now regarding the specific lawsuit she mentioned, that some people think it is the $50 million lawsuit that Diddy and Will are facing, and that Bryce was a blind item that was previously said to be working on this suit, revealed that it read, "I suspect the soon-to-step forward male victim of school. By this, a list mogul will not be the last man to do so." Sean Diddy Combs regarding the Bryshere tapes that she disrupted the trial with rumors are circulating that she did not get them played in court. However, she was able to give them to the prosecution, who are now attempting to subpoena Bryce in order for him to appear in court as a witness and provide testimony against Diddy. In fact, she was seen outside and babbling before she entered the courtroom. In the event that Diddy's entourage attempted to jump her, she provided security to keep her safe since she is one of the most noticeable names in this instance. You can be sure that his family is aware of her identity and will not be pleased to see her there. According to Jaguar, the sick individuals in the industry will suffer as a result of Diddy's collapse, and she will not stop until they are all held accountable.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
She added that the authorities' failure to adequately look into the R. Kelly case is what prevented Diddy from being apprehended years ago, since they would have been able to piece together that Diddy was engaging in the same activities. Regretfully, it took Cassie's lawsuit for them to wake up and start looking into Diddy, and in the weeks that followed, they found a ton of information that ought to have been made public sooner.
That happened in the R. Kelly case. Because if that had been properly addressed, this would have been addressed back then. These people have been working together, all in groups for all of this time. And it needs to all be addressed. I'm glad it's not just me anymore. I'm glad it's someone else. I'm glad there are other people who need to be heard. I'll be sure. I'm glad they're hearing him, Cassie. I'm glad they're hearing her, Kim Porter, through. I'll be sure. I'm glad. Natanya Rubin, I'm glad. All of you. So yeah, it's mixed emotion, but I just know when you pray for something and God answers, you should be happy.
Have their own opinions as usual, such as this one who stated, "Absolutely come forth. What they did to him was horrific and wrong. He should reclaim his life, seek justice, get mental help, compensation, and rise like a phoenix. Despite them broke my heart to see the damage they caused the young man." Another person said, "Jack has bigger balls than all the men who have ruled the world unchecked. All the parents who sold their child's soul for fame will reap what they have sown." Now, though I would want to hear your opinions, how do you feel about Jaguar sending the prosecutors Bryce tapes? And will Bryce be appearing in court to testify in your opinion?